What's going on, everybody? This is Afro Think Tank. Today, I'm going to give you my perspective on yesterday's presidential debate. I thought this was the most entertaining debate I have ever seen in my entire life. I'm just going to say, from purely an objective, political observer, I'm going to say this is the most entertaining debate I have ever seen. Right? I see some good ones. Right, but this was a very entertaining debate. Now, what I saw yesterday was really more the same. I saw two very, very, very old people, right? Who neither one of them should be our top picks for the presidency of the United States of America. These two people should not be the best that America has to offer. Like that, we should be ashamed of ourselves, because bipartisan politics and gridlock and political theater and political expediency and the donor class and the corruption that is a result of unfeathered, unregulated corporate freaking extortion and corporate freaking bribing with that we call lobbying. Citizens United, which nothing's going to change until we overturn Citizens United. If you don't know anything about Citizens United, that's when corporations officially took over the United States of America and took all power away from the people. All right, Citizens United. That's the thing we should be focused on instead of the gay stuff and instead of all the other shit. Like Citizens United will solve majority of all of our problems, no matter what camp you on. Right? If we were to reverse that, because they'll give the power back to the people. But I saw Joe Biden, bro. He's that man old, man. I mean, you can't expect, he sounded like an 80-something-year-old man. You can't, you can hear that he knew what he was talking about. His faculties are there. His body's not firing off the way he wanted to fire off. You could tell his senses were there. He knew what he wanted to say, but his body and his mind are no longer connected at his maximum level. He's not fully connected. He's getting old. I mean, it's nothing to be ashamed of. It's the natural course of life. How many politicians have we seen in the past go through exactly the same thing? We just had the Speaker of the House, I forgot his name, one of the most brilliant politicians in the history of all America, next to Nancy Pelosi, one of the most brilliant and accomplished politicians ever in the history of America, despite how you believe, whether you believe they're evil or not. Politics is an art form, whether, nonetheless, give credit where credit due. Look, there are some politicians that are brilliant, right? And he is one of them. I forgot his name. He's the current Speaker of the House. But we've seen him basically almost have a stroke, right, during press conferences several times. These guys, and I've been saying it over and over in my video, these politicians that we have, they're dictators. They're all miniature dictators, and they're all avatars and retainers for the corporations that own them via campaign donations and everything. That's why I've used Jamal Bowman. Jamal Bowman. He didn't capitulate to the AIPAC, the Jewish lobbyists, the Jewish billionaires who have influence over so many politicians. And what happens if on the Democratic side and on the Republican side, if you don't capitulate to the people that's giving you money, guess what? They will spend money on your opponent and they will get you up out of there. So to be a righteous politician, you're going against the machine, and 9 times out of 10, you're probably going to lose. And that's in reality, unless you have massive population support, which is hard to do when you have the finances to get your message out there, when it's just you versus multinational, multi-billion-dollar corporations that have reach, and they own all the social medias that even you would have to use to advertise your ideologies any goddamn way, right? So hats off to Jamal Bowman for not giving in to AIPAC, not giving in to the Democrats and the corporate Democrats who want all Democrats to shut up when it comes to Israel, right? And I give credit to the Republicans that's also doing exactly the same thing. Because you're either going to be, if you black, listen, you're either going to be a coon like all those black Republicans over there, cooning for Trump, or you're gonna be righteous. But understand, either group, you're not gonna have power. That's why I say neither the Democrats or the Republicans are the vehicles for change for African Americans. So because if you don't kiss the overall ass of the white man, whether he's liberal or conservative, he's gonna show you who's really in charge, and he's gonna show you his true barbaric colors, right? Which they show you. Keep in mind, white people domestically may have different factions that they fight each other about, right? And we black people attach ourselves to these different white factions, and we fight each other via the white factions instead of forming our own faction to where we can fight back, win, lose, or draw against these other factions that don't have our best interests at hand. Just straight up. But I saw Joe Biden, an aging guy who, if you were to take his word for it, which I totally did agree, the only reason Joe Biden ran in the first place I mean, he did want to be the president. Who doesn't? You get into politics to get power, right? I mean, presidency is the highest office. You want power, but the man was old. I really didn't think he wanted to run, but when Donald Trump, you know, became the guy and he did what he did, because people forgot them 4 years with Donald Trump. All these black people who are campaigning for Donald Trump actually must have forgot that 4 years of Donald Trump. They forgot, right, what Donald Trump did and all the things that happened within that 4 years, because short-term memory seems to be spreading amongst the people nowadays. They can't remember what happened last year, right? So, you know, Donald Trump is doing well with those voters that don't know anything, right? But if you listen to Donald Trump on that stage, you heard a person who lied the entire time. You heard a person who's unprepared for office. You heard a person who repeated the same thing over and over again because he didn't want to answer a question. You heard a person that was trying to toe a line that was given to him. You heard a person that has no business being in charge of the Boy Scouts. You heard a person that had no business being in charge of an ice cream shop. You heard a person that had absolutely no integrity. You heard a person that was a snake that just arrived out of the grass. Look, Donald Trump is not even a snake in the grass. Donald Trump has been on the concrete the entire time, right? He's never even been hit hiding. He's been right there. But you heard, if anybody with any rational thought heard Donald Trump, you would be absolutely insane to vote for Donald Trump. But our problem is, America, because of its policies, our choices is an old guy who more than likely, it never was really Joe Biden really running the country. It's probably the institution that around him. Now he has people around them that's running the country, and it's always been like that. The president doesn't run the country by himself. He picks his cabinet. His cabinet takes different parts of the government and they manage it, and then they come to him. They give him suggestions. They tell him, give them a report. He gives suggestions. They give suggestions, and he gives the okay, and then it happens. But it's not the president making all decisions in every facet of the government, right? There are people who do that, and so the people who are charged with doing that on the behalf of Joe Biden, I trust more than the people that was doing it on behalf of Donald Trump, because all the ones that was doing it on the behalf of Donald Trump, half of them either in jail or they were vehemently against Donald Trump and they got fired or they quit. So, you know what I'm saying? It's about the people behind the man that perceivably has the power, not the man himself, right? So this is one of them situations where now I didn't vote for Biden at all, because I couldn't. I'm a Pan-African, right? And I never quite liked Joe Biden's foreign policy. I'm not a single issue voter. You know, a lot of people are single issue voters, right? But I look at the world in all its totality, and I have to pick which group, you know, benefits me the most. And almost everything Joe Biden said was true. He bullshitted and skirted a lot of shit when it came to the African American community. But the things that he said he accomplished were actually true. It's just that it takes people to do more than just watch somebody's video running their mouth 3-4 hours a day, every day, pumping up their massive Donald Trump. It takes more than that to know what politicians are doing. You can literally look up all the policies that each president, administration, and every political class, year by year, has done for any individual or group of people. Like, so when people come on the internet talking about what they feel like and what they believe, that's all bullshit and conjecture. It's your opinion. Everybody got a goddamn opinion. Don't mean you right? And a lot of people are making their arguments based off opinions instead of being based off shit that's actually happening in the real world. And that's the problem with all these fake pseudo political experts and pundits who got a lot of shit to say, but can't shut their mouths for 5 minutes to receive any new information to readjust their position based off actual information on the ground, right? So we got a aging freaking Weekends at Bernie Democratic Party, right? Which we don't like their foreign policy, and we have a also aging and still cognitively declined, but just a tad bit better, but completely and totally moronic Donald Trump Republican side. There's really no good options, but the best option is the Democratic side, because at least they make some sort of sense, and they're not trying to destroy democracy, and they're not trying to break up the institution that's going to mess up things for the regular person in America and in Europe. Because, like, I know I don't like the American system, but at the same time, my people live here, and I don't want the system at which our people already fought, died, bled to build and create. I don't want it to crumble so fast as my people are just trying to wake up and decide whether they want to go to Africa or fight here or not. I need my people to be more physically and financially and educationally capable of making the jump before we go to freaking before the post-apocalypse happens, okay? Right? We need a little bit more time to get up on our feet before shit hit the fan, even though shit is hitting the fan directly. And if you ever pay attention to the Western systems of government, ever since the European has started to rise on the world stage, if you look at how they've operated, every major kingdom has fell in this way. What happens is strong men take power. Strong men take power with other political ideologies that they have. Their children get that power, but the thing is, they don't have the same. They don't see the value in the institutions that was created. They don't see the value in those institutions like their parents did, because their parents really fought for it, whether good, bad, or indifferent, right? But their children take over it. They don't value that institution, so they run it, but they don't run it with the same purpose as their forefathers. And then those ones have children, and then they pass that along to their children's children, who absolutely don't even care and have zero value of the system that they created, that was created for them, right? And then they take it, use it, abuse it, and they squander it because they don't know how to operate it, right? And that's how Western civilization fall. That's how Rome fall. Our politicians have become stupid, idiotic, and way too goddamn bipartisan to get actual legislation done. Everything freezes, and new ideas come and take over because the people start to get stifled. And look, people only going to take for so much, right? People can endure lots of things, but at some point, people start to lose their mind. Everybody all around the world, all peasants that's not a part of the government or political military class, are revolting all around the world. In every single political, economic, government system that exists, every single person in every demographic, Asian, Black, African, European, everywhere, all the regular people are protesting against the draconian, barbaric policies of this older generation that don't know how to govern anymore, and they've aged out of the system. And their systems of government is old age, outdated, and they do not work, and they do not push or they do not promote happiness among people. That's what is supposed not happening among people. All they do is promote and push policies that make less and less people rich, more and more rich. That's it. It's like this whole planet belongs to the 5 or 6 billionaires and the 1 or 2 trillionaires, and everybody else are just cogs in the machine that makes them money and lets them live their lives and do the things they want to do, right? So yeah, we should be embarrassed that we had a presidential debate with, and those are our best candidates. This is the best, supposedly the best country in the world, and that's the best we got to offer. Because that's how far these supposed grown leaders of the free world, the most powerful, the most capable, the richest country in the world, that's the best that we can do. That's the best that we can provide. That's the best we can do. Ridiculous. Anyway, that's what I think about the debate. It was just more the same. Old guy, you know, Joe Biden, everything. Most of the stuff he said was right. He kissed Israel's ass like he's supposed to, because if he don't kiss Israel's ass, then he's going to lose a lot of money, and they're going to start pouring money against him. So he has to kiss Israel's ass until the institution of political institution is strong enough to operate without the influence of corrupt political leaders and corrupt business owners who own all the politicians that we keep begging to do shit for us. When they don't get into politics for us, they get into politics for themselves, and they do everything so they can get reelected continuously. And that's a problem with our political system right now. It's not the system itself, it's the people who abuse the system that we have that's messed up. So as long as you got people that don't have faith, good faith political ideologies, as long as we got political leaders that don't actually care about the people, and that's more interested in getting money from super PACs and corporations in order to continuously run to be a politician, in order to do what? To continuously to run to be a politician, in order to do what? To just run to be a politician, so they can have power and so they can work 40 hours in one whole year and get full government benefits and free dental and free health care, and their whole family's taken care of, and all the best benefits that a democratic social government has to offer. Because these politicians, they benefit from a socialist policies while telling all of you that socialism is bad and capitalism is right, even though the reason why they stay in politics because of the benefits of them policies, very same socialist policies that they're against, or they pretend like they're against but don't do anything about. Anyway, tell me what you guys think in the comment section. It's Afro Think Tank. Learn something, teach something. I'm out.